Talk. Welcome, one and all. Um, a lot, there's so many issues going on. And what I put in the title of this stream is so true. The only thing that matters right now when it comes to politics, right, is the Save America Act. That's all that matters, the Save America Act. And it's going to be the main theme of the morning show today, because they've actually found, and President Trump posted this on Truth Social, there's over 35,000 non-citizens registered to vote in the state of New Jersey. And who knows, there could be more, but there's at least 35,000. And the Save America Act is why we have all these problems. It's why we have the Medicaid fraud. It's why we have millions of illegals brought across the border. Any piece of legislation, the only reason the right things are not done all of the time is because we don't have the Save America Act. The Save America Act keeps rhinos and Democrats in office, well, with lifetime elected positions that they would not have with the Save America Act in place. So, all these issues we talk about are important, no doubt about it. But think about all the things that would be solved if the Save America Act were passed. Welcome, my name's Brian. This is Where MAGA Comes to Talk. And if you're new, welcome and subscribe. I'll be live in less than an hour in the studio taking your live calls, all right? But that's it. I mean, President Trump at his rally speech welcome everyone. President Trump at his rally speech in Georgia yesterday, he talked about that. I mean, he's fed up with Thune. The MAGA Mike Johnson in the House has passed the Save America Act again. They put it in this budget. That involves the military funding, and that's that. I mean, there's no need to worry about the filibuster anymore with this process. They just need 50 votes, which they've got. We got 50 senators and J.D. Vance, and we're locked, and we've got it. And then the country is saved. Making America great again, and President Trump's certainly been doing that. But think about if we had the Save America Act in place where only U.S. citizens were voting. Can you imagine? I know, it's spectacular. That's what it's all about. All the issues are important, don't misunderstand me, but these divisions we have in the country politically are artificially created because we don't have the Save America Act. Welcome, Australia. MAGA for life, that's right. That is exactly right. Yeah, subscribe, those of you that are new, on the next stream, which will be in about 35 minutes or so. I'll be live in the studio taking your calls, all right? So I will be covering that, of course. I'm going to open up today with the latest revelation out of New Jersey. There's over 35,000 non-citizens registered to vote in the state of New Jersey. Not 6,600, over 35,000, according to the president. That's so hot that if I took a real swig of that, my tongue would have third-degree burns on it. Yeah, we'd like to make Australia, we want to make the entire English-speaking world great again. Australia, the United States, everywhere, right? Canada's lost, UK's lost, but Australia is not. What about New Zealand? May be lost too, right? Remember when they played the Muslim Call of Prayer on national television in New Zealand? Oh my goodness. Well, Lindsey Graham's sister that he adopted and raised, she's with Trump. And notice the president was flying on the new Air Force One yesterday. That new Air Force One is massive, isn't it? It's freaking huge. It is massive, massive, massive. You called in once, okay. Well, you can call in again. All calls are welcome. All opinions are welcome. No doubt about it. The Save America Act should have been passed months ago. I mean, Thune is obviously a rhino. You know, rhinos are really Democrats. Rhinos are fake Republicans. They're Democrats that are trying to pass themselves off as Republicans. That's what rhinos are. It's a fact. There's no doubt about it. I saw Al Sharpton. He's such an idiot. Al Sharpton, he interviewed this author of a book that I just got, and I'm going to start listening to it today. The audiobook version about the Jim Crow era, and he's got the whole thing wrong, you know. The Democrat Party, I had a story yesterday on my podcast that I'm going to share on the morning show again today because it's a very important story and it's not being covered. The Democrats have been involved in a new Indian massacre, and I'm going to cover this on the show this morning. There's 2,000 Indians. This is today. This is like 2025, 2026. 2,000 Native American Indians are dead and missing through the Democrat Medicaid fraud scandal. And it is just, you know, you look at the Democrat Party. What good comes out of the Democrat Party? They are the sickest, most twisted group of individuals. To call themselves a political party is not just a misrepresentation, it's just disgusting. The Democrat Party is just an evil organization. Evil. This latest Indian massacre, I mean, the Democrats are responsible for the Indian massacres of the 1800s. The Democrats elected Andrew Jackson as president because he massacred so many Indians. And now we have this, you know, with this new Indian massacre. Who would have thought there'd be an Indian massacre by the Democrats in this country in 2026? It's true. I'm going to go through it on the program. I covered it on my podcast, but in the afternoon yesterday, so you may have heard me discuss it and share it then, but it's such a big story. I'm going to share it again because people need to hear it. You know, those of you out there that consider yourselves Democrats, you really need to do some deep reflection on who you are, what you are, and what it is that you're supporting, because, you know, there may be an isolated, you know, like, we have some isolated Republicans that are snakes, right? Like Thune as an example. But as a whole, the Republican Party, it's led by President Trump, is a party about goodness and freedom and liberty and helping people and protecting our country and saving lives. All these things. And President Trump certainly has done that and a lot more. The Democrat Party is about one thing and one thing only: financial fraud. And to get their financial fraud operation continuing, they victimize people, kill people, support the killing of people, victimize people in so many ways. It's just god awful. The Democrat Party is a sick, twisted organization. They really, truly are. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. I'm very behind on my coffee. I got up early this morning to watch the season premiere of the new Star Trek show, Star Trek Strange New Worlds. A little mediocre, but, you know, whatever. I watched it anyway. The reason I do that is I don't want to get all the spoilers on social media during the day, so it goes live at 3 a.m. Eastern time. So I get up, I watch it, I do my show prep, then watch it. Welcome, everyone. Yeah, they're soul suckers, the sucker of souls. I mean, they are just. I mean, this Indian massacre the Democrats are involved in now is just twisted stuff. You know, I don't know about this Odyssey, and I saw Kevin Sorbo was praising it, Ben Shapiro was praising the Odyssey. I just not into the Odyssey. I don't care who's in it. You know, I just find it hard to believe. You know, the What was that last movie he did? Um, oh, Nolan. The last movie that everybody was, I'm not awake yet, I'm still drinking my coffee. That last movie he did that won all the Academy Awards that everyone was praising. Shoot. I can't remember the name of the guy it was about because that's the title of the movie. I've got 30 minutes for my mind to wake up, so. You guys know in the chat, let me know. As soon as I see it, I'll know. And I'll be like, how could I not think of that name? That's what happens when you don't have caffeine. But Chris Nolan is probably the most overrated director in Hollywood. I've seen 2 of his movies, and they both sucked. Right? He did that time travel movie a few years ago, which I cannot even understand. I've watched the movie 5, 6 times or more. Like, what am I missing? Makes no sense. It's so confusing. But that's Hollywood. I find it hard to believe that, oh, Interstellar, oh, that was the worst. Did he do Interstellar? Interstellar sucks. Yeah, he did do Interstellar, Chris Nolan. That whole scene at the end with the books, that movie makes no sense. No, what was the movie, the time travel movie he did? Where things move backwards. The leading man was a mediocre actor, African American. I can't remember. As soon as I see it in the Inception. Tenet, that's right, Tenet. Tenet is a piece of garbage movie. I've watched that movie. I like science fiction a lot. I really like time travel movies. And everyone's praising Tenet. I watched Tenet, and I'm like, what is this about? It makes no sense. I've watched it 5, 6 times, maybe more. It makes no sense to me. He is overrated. I haven't seen anything he's done that was good. So I find it hard to believe that The Odyssey is a masterpiece. But even if it was, I have no interest in that story. Do you know why Hollywood makes movies about Troy and the Odyssey? Why do you think they do that? You know why? They don't have to pay any money for the story. It's so old, right? There's no copyright. So they get the story for free. They don't have to pay the writer. That's the main reason they make those movies. Not because they're great stories, but it's true. It's very true. Tenet is the worst, followed by Interstellar. But we know who the best is, and that's Donald Trump. Did you guys catch Trump's speech in Marietta, Georgia? It was very, very good. You know, there was that kid was sitting behind or standing behind President Trump that had the Butler fight, fight, fight shirt on. I've got that shirt. I've got 2 of those shirts. And and my wife said, I wonder what Trump thinks when he sees people wearing that fight, fight, fight shirt after he just got shot. That has got to be so surreal. You know? It really does. There have been more assassination attempts against President Trump than all of the other presidents combined. Think about that. It's crazy. It's completely insane. And the liberals, the Democrats, the never-Trumpers, they don't care. They don't care. I mean, you bring them up, they say, that's not true, Butler was staged. You know, give me a break. We all saw it live. Of course it was real, sadly. Sadly, but that was one of the biggest red pilling events during the entire Trump era. People finally woke up, you know, that weren't already MAGA, right? And they said, you know, these MAGA guys, they're right. They are trying to get this guy. you know? That was a big red pilling event. People woke up. It's crazy. We just passed the 2 years since that happened. But with the Save America Act passed and the law of the land, I would say 80 to 90% of the problems in our country would get solved. Because it'll take a couple of elections, but with the Save America Act in place, it would take about 3 elections, because remember, only a third of the Senate is up every 2 years. The whole House is up every 2 years, and a third of the Senate is up every 2 years. So it would take 6 to 8 years after the Save America Act is passed. You know, we're going to have a truly representative government in the Congress. Really. And the Democrats are going to fade away. When the Save America Act is in place, every election there'll be fewer Democrats in office. Fewer and fewer. If it was fully in place and operative in, you know, California and New York could go Republican in presidential elections. You know? That's why they're fighting it so hard. That's why the rhinos are doing everything they can do to stop it, because they know the importance of the Save America Act. It's all about the Save America Act. Yeah, this has 5 shots of espresso. I'll show you. Right there. You can see it. See? 5 shots. That's right. I think I already got one in me because I've woken up a little bit. Spineless, I take live calls screenless. So on my next stream, which will be in about 20-25 minutes, you can call me live on the stream, toll free. Spineless people don't do that. So, I mean, you can call me an a-hole. That's a matter of opinion. But spineless people don't take calls live, screenless and unvetted. One morning I drank 2 of these and I had heart palpitations, but one, I mean, being an a-hole, that's debatable. That's a matter of opinion. But spineless, can't call me that. No one takes live calls like I do. Totally 100% unscreened, unvetted. All opinions are welcome. Nobody does that. No one. Nope. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. Yeah, the next stream will be about 15, 20 minutes or so. But I watched this episode of Star Trek Strange New Worlds today, and it was the most unchristian science fiction I've ever seen. It's disgusting to me. Totally disgusting. It was so, you know, it's just everything woke. Remember what President Trump says, everything woke turns to S. right? No, they're not concentration camps. There were concentration camps in the United States. The Democrats in the Second World War, the Democrats under Franklin Roosevelt, the Democrats interned American citizens of Japanese descent in camps. Those were concentration camps. Democrat concentration camps. These are detention centers because these are criminals that are in the country illegally and they're not citizens. The Democrats were locking up American citizens of Japanese descent and putting them in camps for years. Everything woke turns to S. That's right, we're Trumpers here. Proud Trumpers, absolutely. Deplorables, Trumpers with our MAGA king, everything else. We're all very proud, yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Absolutely correct. The coffee is starting to kick in. What are you saying BS to, Bill? The espresso kicks in pretty quick. Kicks in pretty quick. Yeah, I'm the first customer here every day. And they usually don't have another customer till around 5:30, 5:45. They joke around that they open up for me. I've heard some of them say to me, "We open up just for you, Brian." Yeah, well. Fine by me. I wish they opened up at like 4 or open. If Starbucks was open 24 hours, I would get up in the morning, take a shower, and go and do my show prep there. But they don't open up till 5. You know, one of the negatives, places that used to be open in Los Angeles, when I was out in LA visiting my daughter, there was a 24-hour Starbucks drive-through, and the Starbucks in my daughter's neighborhood opened up at 4 a.m. and I thought, that's awesome. I wish they opened up at 4 a.m. here, let me tell you. Because I could get my espresso in me, my fresh espresso in me earlier. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, guys, listen, I got to take off because in about 15 minutes I'll be live on the next stream. So if you're new, subscribe, and I'll see you in just a few on the morning show in studio, taking your calls. I'm Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk. See you in a few.